Yeah. Yeah. All right. Hey, thanks for letting me know. So, what I was saying, passion tech, respect. What is this? All right. So, starting from the top, this is workflow I created of AI employees. So, it's like a team of employees. It's kind of like my social media, organic marketing department. And this is the Kanban style. Look at the workflow. Got the flow graph, so you can see how the different agents flow together. Got the org chart, kind of just like another different view to see how they flow. And then the fleet is looking at all the agents and how much time each job takes, how much the cost is. Because this is not like a Claude, this is a custom system, custom for this business. So it runs off of APIs in the cloud. Or at least all these different employees do. So I can track different models, how much the cost is, and compare how much it would cost to like a human doing the job. I can compare different models to see like which one works better over time. There's a lot I can really do with this, and this is just like the foundation. So essentially right now what I'm doing is training these AI employees, and it's very, very similar to training people. Alright, so I was okay. I was on that video. This got done. Or maybe not. Maybe it wasn't done yet. How am I marketing the product? Well, I'm not marketing it right now. Or essentially, I guess just showing it to you is marketing it. But right now, this is not a product. This is me building out teams of AI employees that run the first business that I'm doing for this challenge, which is Stackivate. So I would like to help people build similar or build for people AI employees and AI workflows. However, I have not started marketing that yet because like I'm still building the first couple teams, and I'm almost done, and then I would start marketing it. So if you're looking for a team like this, just contact me in one of the social media platforms in the description on YouTube or Twitch. But this is still like just something I'm using for my business. But I could basically build something that's like custom for any business based on this workflow, and then just basically like swap the data for a different business. So guess I'm kind of marketing it right now, but just the business of selling these systems does not exist yet. I'm still in the process of creating it. Alright, so I'm doing the feature video flow, and it says there is no deck yet. So, basically, like, I looked at the script, and it's fine, and I know the deck is waiting on me to approve the script, but I didn't really see anywhere to approve it. I guess the only thing is mark it done, but I still need it, like, to record the video. So, what do you think is the best solution to this? I know right now you can just manually create the artifact visual aid deck. But in the future, I would like this to be quicker, like the flow for the agents. So what do you think is the best way to do this? Oh, hey there. Respect every time. J35 404. That's good to hear. It's always great when everything clicks. Give thanks every time. Unification. Give thanks for everything coming together at the right time in the right way, like it's supposed to be. Creation. Manifestation. You're working on something related to marketing too? Well, good to meet you. If you want to share what you're working on, that's awesome. And what you're marketing, and can do some reasoning on some marketing issues, and see if we can't enlighten each other, build up each other's marketing game. So, any questions? If you just want to share what you're working on, feel free. Right now, I'm going to record this marketing video real quick. Or I guess I'll answer your question first. You were doing freelance marketing on some time for e-commerce brands, mostly meta ads and stuff. You used to do cold emailing for your own work. Okay, so mostly you're doing meta ads. I don't have much experience with meta ads. That's going to be the next or one of the next workflows that I build. I would like to build AI employees to run my paid ads, and plan on trying out Google and Meta, and maybe even some more. From what I understand, ChatGPT just started running paid ads, and I'm really interested to see how this works, because from what I understand, when the platform is new, usually the bids, I don't know how ChatGPT is doing it, but if they're doing it just like every other platform where you're bidding on keywords, then I'm guessing it'd be cheaper because it's like a new platform, but I don't know. So if you got experience with GPT, that's the main thing I'm wondering. And so with AI, you were thinking of something that can automate the whole flow using Meta Ads API, Google Ads. That's the ad part. AI for cold emailing and even SMS marketing. All those things have different workflows, and I'm building them out one at a time. I believe it all starts with social media. Essentially, my teams will be able to talk to each other. So like social media has the benefit of like everything it's already doing with the marketing, but then like it's basically testing for paid ads as well. So like I can have my team of paid ad employees have a manager that talks to my manager from my team of social media employees, and they can be like, the paid ads can be like, all right, what's been working? Maybe I'm trying to test a certain hook, and I can see like the database, look to see what's been working to like get that hook for the most reach. So then can just apply that to paid. And when the business all has the same database, then all the information can be shared across the whole team. And the more they create and the more these AI employees work, the more data they accumulate. And then the better the system just gets over time, and it all compounds. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. So let's see. Your idea is still brainstorming, but like you described the budget, the memory already has the business information and stuff. It plans out the budget into different segments, this much for paid ads, this much for email marketing, this much for SMS marketing. I see what your strategy is. So like you could take like a weekly or monthly budget and make sure that all the different departments. And then I mean the first thing that comes to my mind is, you know, once you start getting data and better data even, then you see if something's working better, then it's like you know how to budget better. So when all those different teams can share information, I mean this is so new, but it's essentially like changing the game so much, and super excited to see how it works out. I'm already super like I don't even have 100% done of like my first layer of like employees for my marketing team, and it's already like more than cut the time to do my weekly workflow in half. And I can tell the quality's getting a little better, but the more I get done of just like the time consuming boring stuff and automate it, the more time I have to focus on actually like making better decisions to make the quality better. So I'm seeing that in play right now. So for paid ads, scraping the ad library, running tests and seeing what works best in different niches. There's so much we can do here. Um like I mean this would definitely like one person, like us as one person with these agents is like having a team of like 10 people basically. I mean, you know, it would take like a team just to do like the SMS marketing or just to do the email marketing. Now we can just set up teams one at a time for each one of these. And testing is super important. Um, I feel like there's a whole game to the scraping and then using that information for testing. And I think that the marketing tools for scraping and doing testing is going to get so much better. And I think that's one tool that could actually like doesn't so much need to be customized and could be like a good product if someone did it right. Um I'm actually going to take a note about that right now. Feel like I've kind of thought about this before, but now that it's coming up again, I'm like, yeah, this is like a good idea. All right. Research a tool and the industry for scraping ads and running tests for different niches. I can see what's out there, see what's possible right now, look at like how I could make it better, and then just essentially like put this tool out. You know, it sounds like it might even be super simple. I could just put it out for free and then just kind of use it as a lead magnet um to you know, some way of like however I end up selling these systems, if I do sell these custom employee systems. This is kind of like a good way to bring people in, I think. Offer them something free like this, a free tool like this. All right. Ready to do this video real quick. Actually, I'm seeing more messages. So, you were initially thinking of tuning an open weight model to this specific task, but you don't know if it's worth the time right now. So, from what I understand, is put all your and this is what I'm doing, my strategy. put all your agents at first on the cloud. Don't try to figure out like, which one should be on the open model. Put them all in the cloud, and then after you see how they're running for a while, then it'll make more sense to which one should be in the open model. And from what I understand, the main thing you're going to be looking for is the cost. So like what you want to do is take the cost of the machine you would need to run it on an open model, and look at the task, look at the agent. And I think it's like, if the cost of running that agent over like 3 years costs the same or less, no, the same or more than buying that machine, then if that agent should be on a local or local open model machine. But I'm sure there's still more parameters. That's like the main one that seems to make the most sense, is because if a task costs a lot of money to run in the cloud with an API, then those are the best candidates for open model. All right, here we go. Give thanks every time. In my last video, I showed you self-driving money, apps built to act on your cash without asking you first. Today is the opposite move, because here's the post I keep seeing in beginner investing threads. Somebody has money saved specifically for investing. It has been sitting in savings for months, sometimes years. And every single week there's a reason. Maybe a dip is coming, maybe after the next big report, maybe once they finally finish picking the fund. The market keeps moving, the cash keeps waiting, and the waiting keeps feeling like strategy. So I built a free tool, 5 questions, about 2 minutes, that names what your cash is actually waiting for. Because it turns out waiting isn't one thing, it's 4 different things, and they all end differently. One of them ends with the tool telling you to stay out of the market, and I'll show you. So here's the trap. Waiting always feels like prudence. Nobody thinks of themselves as frozen. They think of themselves as careful. So sometimes waiting can be good. Definitely, nobody knows in the market what it's going to do, but waiting should not be the only thing. And I've been there before too. I keep waiting and waiting and waiting, but part of that waiting is kind of just being frozen, being stuck, and just not wanting to make the decision, feeling that if I wait longer I'll make a better decision. But you got to just be aware of that. Awareness is key. So then you can notice what a dip actually offers, not a knowledge edge. Proof you didn't buy at the worst moment. That's really what it's like all about, is like not feeling like I got burned, like not feeling like I could have bought in for lower. And then, at the end of the day, one of the top rules is like never try to like time the top or the bottom. Just try to get in near the top of the bottom if that's really what you're doing. And as long as you can say that you bought when the price was near a low and sold when the price was near a high, I mean, you're doing the right thing. Even if you're not buying or selling like your whole portfolio, even if you're just buying a little bit near the bottom and taking a little bit of profits near the top, that is winning in this game. And that doesn't even mean trading. That can just be like long-term investing. And over time, you start to become more aware of tops and bottoms, and then you start to realize when it's time to take action, because you've taken action and you've learned from your mistakes. But if you never take action, then you can't learn. So the quiet cost. After enough months, waiting stops being a choice you're making and becomes the decision made by default. Nobody signs off on it. It just keeps happening. So here's the tool. This tool that I created, the tool never asks where the market is. Not one question. It's not about that. So many people think that's what it's about, but I really think it's deeper. Read between the lines. Everything it asks is about you. How long the money's been waiting, when you actually need it, what would honestly move it. That's the point. What your cash is waiting for is information about you, not prices. And it's the only variable in this whole topic you can actually settle. So, this isn't advice, it's a rule you write yourself in the calm, same pattern as the market drop plan from before. That's another tool on here on Stackivate. So, two people can leave with opposite rules and both can be right, is what I'm saying. Everyone has their own style. Nobody's the same in life. If everybody in the world were the same, it would be a very boring and very dysfunctional world, I believe. So that's good that, there's so much diversity and everybody has a different way that works best for them for doing things. And that definitely applies to investing as well. So why did I build this? This is something that I've seen, and there's a specific post that I saw this week on Reddit, and someone was talking about they had a friend who told them to wait for the dip. And another person was asking whether to buy back or keep waiting. So these seem to be like the same theme. A first timer with the money ready and the account still not open. And I'm seeing this every week pretty much. The research is done, the money is ready, but nothing is moving. The missing piece stopped being information a long time ago. They just don't see it like that. All right, so now I'm going to show you some of this tool. And here is the demo run. Here is a run that basically would be the same run according to what I'm seeing, according to the common trend that I'm seeing that people are saying and the common problems. So this is not how I would answer it, but basically, should you be waiting for a dip? Find out what your cash is actually waiting for. So most people are like, I've had this money, just now or a few months, say like 50-50, people just like came into money. Some people have just been kind of like saving up and now they're feeling like they're kind of getting ready to like make a move with investing and they want to get into investing. They just don't know how. Okay, so years until you expect to actually need this money, I would say most people is about 20 to 40. What would actually make you move it? People seeing a real dip, right? Like buying after a drop just feels safer. And most people are waiting for like all out crash and like they don't even, know what they would even consider a crash. I think it's just like waiting for the newspapers to say the stock market is crashing, and that doesn't always necessarily mean it's a crash. But anyways, if the market dropped 20% the week after you got in, what would that mean about the decision? And usually people think, it was a mistake. They should have waited to like, catch that extra 20%. They don't understand investing, hindsight. The rule you put your name on decided now in the calm. Start a schedule, same amount, same day each month, regardless of price. That's basically dollar cost averaging. Okay, so in this case, the person's waiting for permission and prices don't issue it. A dip feels safer because it comes with proof. They just want permission and proof, but the market is never going to grant that. The price that finally feels safe is also the one that proves the crowd already agrees with you. So, I'm going to run through how I would answer this real quick. How long have I had money in waiting? I would have to say, I'm still steadily buying, but I also have cash I'm holding on to, especially for crypto right now, because I feel like that price could easily go lower. So a year or more, honestly, years until you expect to actually need the money, I would have to say 10 to 20. What would actually make you move it? A real dip. Nope. Knowing the market won't drop right after I get in. I know that's not any guarantee. Finishing a concrete step, picking the account or fund. I would have to say a real dip. I mean, it's already had a lot of a dip, but I feel like it can do more. I feel like there's still usually a big bottom. And I'm just saving a little bit for that. If the market dropped 20% the week after you got in, what would that mean about the decision? Nothing. The plan is sound. Like, as long as I got in a dip, if it dipped lower than it is right now and I get in and it still goes down another 20, I'm good with it because I know that's how markets work. Like, And if it did go down another 20, I'd still probably like have some saved for that. So the rule you put your name on, start on a schedule, I do that, plus save a little bit depending on what's going on with market cycles and different markets. So with me, it more like depends, but with beginners, you know, they're still figuring this stuff out. And I would have to say, um, something like that. So now that's change this to 2 years, and then that makes sense. So okay, so with this specific cycle, then that makes way more sense. The money might be parked correctly, but you know that's two different answers. So that's basically running through it. You can check this out and run through it on your own, answering your own questions, and get your own advice that's specific to you. And then you know what to do. Go and check out some more features on the site. They're all right. It's going to help you get to be a better investor. Develop your own style. You don't want the AI making decisions for you about your money. You can do much better. Doesn't take much to learn. So here we go. So what this all revealed, 4 different verdicts, 1 honest tool. Permission, missing information, a finish line, or is the money correctly parked? Naming which one you're in is the whole unlock, because each one ends differently and only one ends with more research. 2 people, 2 rules that can both be right. A monthly schedule and a deliberate stay parked are both wins if they're authored instead of inherited. So you want to mirror what's working. It's going to reflect a read on why a decision is waiting and a rule you wrote yourself. This is not advice, it's not a recommendation to invest, and it's not a statement about what markets will do. So you know, the industry's answer to hesitation is self-driving money. If you take away the human and the deciding happens without you, if a machine makes every decision, how do you ever learn? How do you get better? And when it's wrong, it's not the one who pays. AI is not held accountable for making bad decisions with your money. You are. The goal is never to outsource the decision. It's to become an investor who knows their own style and improves over time. This tool is that idea in its smallest form. Nothing moves until you write the rule. Check it out free at stackivate.com. It's in the tools section. It's the getting in plan. No sign up is required for this. And if the permission verdict hit home, the archetype quiz is the best next step. So, I want to know, what is your parked money actually waiting for? A price, certainty, a finish line, or is it parked on purpose? Let me know below. Check out the comments, stay in the flow, and telling you what I know as we learn what happens to money when AI takes over. And it's happening quick, so stay tuned. And you've always got the free tools here, so you can steer clear of any bank that just wants you to let AI do whatever it does with your money without knowing. I mean, there's a better way. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's it for today. Yeah. So, looking at the chat, meme, welcome, respect every time. I was just recording some content for Stackivate, and I was back to the marketing workflow, training these AI employees. Keep getting better. Awesome, got the thumbnails. All right, I finished recording the video. I just ran the thumbnails through. I'm going to give you the file pass for the 3 thumbnails that have face space. And what I want you to do is let me know what you think is the best one. And I also want you to think, how can you make this better? And then give me 2 new variations that you think could be better. And then I'll bring those back to you. We can find the best one of that, and then we can take notes on how to make this better. Looking back at the chat. You're back. You were just checking another model drop. What new model are you checking out? And you're using Claude. What's the workflow like? Anything crazy? Well, first I would have to say I'm using Claude to build something that's not relying on Claude. And I'm also using Codex. Starting to branch out and try different models for different agents. like trying to find the best model for the best task. I think the craziest agent that I have is right now is probably the I have an agent that uses the SpaceX API, basically like the X API, and then it uses Grok for the model. And it's for X, but basically, like, I was having a lot of problems, like, you know, the actual X API. The cost on it was really high, so, like, basically, I run that specific agent, like, 3 times a week, maybe 4, and it costs, like, 50 cents a run, so it ends up costing, like, $2 a week. And doing it that way, I'm getting everything I need. And the other alternative that I understand is basically the X API, which would cost like $200 a month. So that's like saving me like, you know, maybe like $180 a month to do it that way. But off the top of my head, that's probably the craziest thing I could think of. And so you were just looking up the open weights of Minimax Music 3. I've not heard of this Music 3 version of Minimax. Sounds interesting. Definitely got Open Router for like this workflow. Open Router is the main API, and then Anthropic is the fallback. So still got a bunch of new models to test, and I've been saying this, I think this is going to be one of the biggest skills, or one of the, maybe not biggest skills, but one of the most highest leverage, highest valued skills, I think, moving forward, is understanding the best model for the job with the best price. So that's basically like just understanding all the different models and kind of like how they compare and the prices and like their ability to create quality output and not make mistakes. And I think that's just gonna come from like, you know, using it, getting experience with all the different models, and then maybe even running some tests. So X API does have pay per usage, but it's like nothing. Like I'm doing what I'm doing for that task, and it cost me like 50 cents. So could that compared to like, you know, the monthly fee that you have to pay for X is major. So your workflow mostly using Herder and running Claude, Codex, and Open Code inside Herder. Herder sounds familiar. I want to look this up again real quick. I was talking to somebody about building AI agents, and they're talking about their workflow is mostly using Herder, H-E-R-D-R, and running Claude, Codex, and Open Code inside Herder. What is Herder, and how does it relate to building like AI workflows, AI agents, AI employees? So I'm on Windows operating system. And then it looks like you're also using T3 code. It's a good interface to manage your agents. You have their mobile app too, so you control your agents from a phone when you're outside. Okay, so I think I see what you're doing. Like your agents have like probably like a Telegram or something like that you control them with. And mine are like a custom dashboard that I built, so I can control my agents from my phone, but it's like through my dashboard that I built. So it's a little different, and that's got me wondering, like, what are you doing for database? Do you have like, are you using like a wiki? Okay, so it's not Telegram. Also, I was wondering if you tried the brand new Grok bot. You can access directly Claude Code Codex from your phone. And you can help me set up your workflow. So this is awesome. Yeah, thank you. And I'm thinking like I can kind of take parts that would make sense to add to mine. And then like, you know, whatever you're working on, maybe you could see some like elements of my workflow that might make yours better. So you don't have a database. Okay, that's the main thing. A lot of people told you to, but your current workflow is working really well. All right, so are your agents recording what they're doing and their results so that they can improve over time? Do you have things like your brand voice and all the data about your business and your prospective clients? Is that being accessed when your workflow is creating content or whatever it's creating? And I was just about to make a video about Grokbot and comparing it to like my agent team. Oh, you got all that stuff. Okay, so how are you doing all that stuff without a database? So that's what's cool to me, is if you can make that happen without a database, that's really what I want to understand. So you download the latest from their releases. So all your stuff is on MD files locally for your agents to access. You don't rely on consistent memory flow. You think that fresh context with little referencing is better. And the rest you guide them. So why do you think fresh context with little referencing is better? And I think you're basically saying like you keep the data really lean, so you don't want to have too much data, and like then it can just like work faster. And the rest you guide them, so like you just manually have manual checkpoints, and if they're not doing exactly what you want them to do, then you can just like tell them to like make a change. So that's kind of like, that's very similar to what I'm doing. So like with the database, but there's like still a training process. So like I can't just like, create the database, put down the info, and then like just throw the agents out there and have them running on day one. Maybe some agents can, but even then, they're probably not gonna be optimal for how I want them to be, and so then I'll have to do some of that training you're talking about. But most of the agents, like I have to work with them and like do a bunch of reps with them before they're really like ready to like be handed off to actually like working as an agent by themselves in the cloud. And Jelly Bear TV, respect every time. Word is up. No doubt. Good to see you here. And you're talking about in your opinion, more context makes the agents hallucinate. So I've heard that, and I've heard like some people think having too much information makes them hallucinate, and some people are saying like having not enough information makes it hallucinate. So you work on small stuff with each agent and make them create PRs for you that you manually approve. And I feel like the main thing I'm wondering is like, how does that work over time without having like a central database? But that's, I think, something that I think only time would be able to answer, to see how like well it actually gets better. Because like I don't really, with my workflow, I don't really get hallucinations. I did maybe a little bit more in the beginning, but the more I work with it, like I barely see anything like that anymore. And I feel like if I did it your method, my workflow would be a little bit quicker. But certain things, also that's like, different teams, like in the same business, just having one database that different agent teams can all access the same database, I think is like farther down the line gonna be better than having a bunch of just markdown files. But I don't know. This is all like, this is awesome because we're basically like scientists right now testing this stuff out. Like this is so new. I've been like searching all over the internet looking for people that are already doing this, and most people that I found that are talking about that they're doing this, they're just using like some kind of like, Grokbot or OpenClaw or Hermes agents, and they're just like, general agents. They're not nearly doing what I'm doing and what I'm trying to do. So I can tell you're definitely like building workflows like I'm talking about. Like you're one of the people that I've seen on here that's doing something that's like more close to what I'm doing than most people I see. So definitely respect for that. And I mean, I think this is really the only way like we're gonna get better at this, is like just people like us that are spending a lot of our time to learn this stuff when it's so new like this, and just sharing what we learn. So yeah, definitely, I guess good to have you here. And I think the main things that I'm wondering about how your workflow is going to work out is just going to, I won't know until like another 6 months or a year to like actually see, does just doing the markdown file version instead of the database version keep everything getting better, I guess. Kind of makes me want to try your version on like a different project to like compare it. Word up, word up. Hey, Jelly Bear. Okay, so for this herder thing, it's orchestrating agents, but I mean, like, I'm building custom agents with Claude for like a workflow, and they all connect together, like with the system. Like, I don't need an outside system to, like, you know, help run this, and I have my own custom dashboard that I'm basically doing a lot of the things that herder looks like it's doing that I built. And I'm just wondering, what do you think of like my setup versus doing agents with herder? Because the person I'm talking to who recommended herder, it looks like the main difference between my setup and their setup is I'm using like Supabase, like an external database that the whole business shares and has like all my information and data, and this other person is just using mainly like markdown files. They're trying to, like, you know, keep it leaner, I guess. They think that it'll hallucinate left or less. So I'm guessing that without that central database, that's the reason they need this herder. But because I have that central database and the way I'm building my agents, it's not necessary. But let me know what you think. Let me know if I'm not understanding anything correctly, and any other advice at all, anything, feel free. Jelly Bear is everywhere. That is a good place to be. Everywhere. So you can't, nope, you can't share links on the YouTube is set up so you can't put in links. So I just have people tell me if it's on Google, and then I can like check it on Google, and I'll just Google it. And T3 code is kind of like herder, that it manages your agents. Okay, so like check this out. Here's what Gemini is saying, and here's what I thought too. The architecture I'm using is exponentially more scalable, enterprise ready, and built for actual business automation than what you're talking about you're doing, if I'm understanding what you're doing correctly. And this is saying, you know, this is Gemini's opinion, but Gemini is kind of saying what I was thinking about the whole, like, my reasoning for having a database and custom dashboard versus just using markdown files. Okay, so now I'm understanding this better. So you're saying what I'm doing makes more sense for what I'm doing, but I didn't understand that what you're doing, you're working on several projects. Some of them aren't even yours. So you guys all share the same MD files for your agents to learn and build. I'm thinking you could still probably do it with the database, but it sounds like you're not in control. Like, you're not the one who's like deciding whether like you like that you're using MD files, so you're just like that's how it is and that's how you're doing it. But this makes a lot more sense, and I think I'd definitely like to like try your system out and see how it works. And I think right away I'd start to notice like some differences. So I don't know, like I gotta find a way to get my system like duplicated and then like let other people try it and get feedback on it too before I start selling it. So basically, like I don't know if you're on LinkedIn or what platform you'd like to connect. If you want to connect and send me a request on whatever social platform, there's some linked in the description. We can like talk about trying out each other's systems, because I feel like even though we have like different workflows, that it makes sense to have different systems. We can still learn stuff from each other's systems to make our systems better. Yes, I agree with what you're saying. Um, and I'm not so much focused on like the enterprise thing right now. Right now, it's just about for my business, but I'm just thinking like what I'm building once it's done, I could apply it to a lot of businesses, and I'm just gonna see what happens with that. But either way, Discord, I'm on Discord. I just don't have a group up yet for the if you want to give me your Discord name or whatever they call it on Discord, I can connect with you on there if that's where you wanted to connect. Oh yeah, thumbnails. J35 on a steroid. No doubt. So you're wondering, what does the database structure look like for the agents? I'm not really sure how to explain it. This person is asking me, what does my database structure look like for my agents? And I don't really know how to answer that. What do you think they're like wondering? Like maybe another way to say it so I could answer it better. So basically you want to know how the agents remember things, share data, track their work, and store their outputs. And you're saying I should get a good workspace to manage agents, assuming I don't touch or see code that much nowadays. No one does. So a better workspace that is virtually good is a good upgrade. And I think by workspace, you basically mean like my dashboard that I created to manage my agents. Whereas like, you know, like the new Grokbot has its own like, I think it has like its own virtual computer for each one of its agents, and it works like that. And all the agents share a database. They're all instructed on what to record to the database when they run, what to read from the database. I have the regular database, and then I have the wiki. The wiki's more like, you know, the brand voice, the journey. Oh, I see what you're saying. VS Code is what I'm using right now to manage Claude. Yup, VS Code with the terminal. And then with Herder, you can run multiple Claude agents side by side in left-right panes. Okay, so I already basically do that. Like, just I don't run them in like side-by-side panes. I just kind of like, that makes it more confusing for me. I like to have just like one terminal open at a time. Sometimes, you know, I'll be spinning up like multiple agents and like, what's it called? I think there's it's like an agent mode on Claude. Let me see. Yeah, this right here. So yeah, sorry I couldn't answer is specific about the database thing, but if you want to be, if you have any more specific questions about anything, especially the database, feel free. And then I definitely have Agents MD. I know what Agents MD is, and I've been using that on all my projects. All right, let's see. Oh yeah. Alright, I've got the two new thumbnails. I'm going to bring them both here. Let me know if you think any of these are better than the original one that you used to make these two. And then we can go from there. The cache is stuck. Thursday the 13th. The dip one. Oh, waiting for the dip. The dip one. So XAI open sourced their X algorithm today that runs the X feed. I did not know that. That is super interesting. That should be very good marketing data. I've never heard of any platform giving that away. I'm going to definitely take a note to look into that more. I'm wondering why they would do that. Like, I don't know. I can't think of any use case. It seems like the last thing a company like that would want to do, but that is money as far as like marketing goes. So look into XAI open sourcing their X algorithm. And then, I don't know if you used Obsidian or any kind of like similar second brain software like that. If you do, then I think that's a very good thing to implement with agents. That's basically like the wiki that I was talking about. So basically, if I can look into how X does their algorithm, then I know how to like post better for the algorithm. I also want to understand why they're doing this. Like, why would they just open source this? But yeah, just using it to my advantage as a marketer as much as I can. So I can do research on like how to do this and look into it. They're just trying to capture market more these days, releasing grok models frequently, trying to be good guys, acting to be transparent. I see that. Definitely with the grok getting better and better. And then even Cursor, they have I remember when grok was like kind of a joke, maybe like 4 months ago, and over the past like maybe 2 to 3 months they have came up quick. Okay, that's awesome. You know about Obsidian, you got your project brain there, so you understand that. You're trying the Prime agent these days to see if it can improve your workflow. Never heard of the Prime agent. I gotta look that one up too. So this person's telling me they've also used the Prime agent. Do you know what is the Prime agent? No, it's not. Grok 4.6 is actually very good, and I've heard multiple people compare it with Fable 5, that it's like on that level. Well, like way cheaper. So, Prime Agent, I was thinking it was like some Amazon thing, but no. It's very different. Local interactive developer tools. So you're saying it's almost as good as Fable 5. That's still pretty good. That's pretty much GPT 5.6 Soul level. Alright, back to what I was doing. Commit and push the new changes. Welcome to the chat, Yurts. Respect every time. I'm cooking up a team of AI employees, a workflow, and it is basically almost done. Most of the agents are running. I'm still training some of them and still working with kind of like how they all interact and how the system kind of runs itself. But for the most part, I've got like the foundation down, and just going through the end of the workflow. It's already saved me so much time, and the way I built it, the quality I can tell is already getting better over time. But even more important, what I've noticed is that the time it's saving me is allowing me to focus more on bigger decisions. That is in turn like making the quality better. So right now I'm just trying to like see how many employees I can build, how many different types of workflows, how many like different departments in this company can I actually train and build AI employees to run the business. What's the end goal? Trading. Not sure what you mean by trading. If you're talking about like stock market or crypto trading, I've already been doing that for a long time. I don't do it that much, but I do like some crypto swing trades and stuff, mostly investing. But that doesn't really have anything to do with this. The first business that I have for this this challenge is Stackivate, which is an investment education, and that's why I think what you mean by trading is for like investing and stuff. But the end goal is basically like I don't even have an end goal because I don't see like I never want to retire. Like I'll always be working. My mind is always like spinning up new ideas. I don't ever see myself wanting to be like, you know, like once I like, you know, build this, then I'm done. Like I'll always want to be doing something new. But I guess you could say for this system, if I can, you know, create an entire company that runs itself with AI employees, then I can take it to the next level. I'm sure I can find another level, like another way to make it better. So I guess there is no end goal, but I'm already making a ton of progress and super awesome to see my like time and effort on doing stuff I didn't like to do get taken away by robots. and they're actually like doing the work right and getting better over time. No doubt, flexibility. So that's definitely, I would say, that's a good way to say it, because I'm all about just, you know, I'm not motivated by like material things. I'm more motivated by like experiences and being able to spend my time, you know, where I want, how I want, with the people I want to spend it with. Oh yeah. Exactly. No one knows tomorrow. But once the team is built, I could just adapt it to whatever the next big thing is and get a massive head start, because as I've seen, putting out an app really doesn't mean much if people are not aware of it. Even if you could have the best app in the world that solves the world's biggest problem, and you could launch it and no one would find it unless you know how to market it correctly and get it in front of the right people. And that's what this first workflow and team is doing. Oh yeah, that's right. I missed your Hermes. So you're talking about Grokbot. Grokbot's a new one. Hermes just released bot mode for the Hermes Agent app. And you're looking into bot mode for Hermes Agent app right now. That is cool. I have set up some Hermes Agent. Still, like, that's originally what led me to what I'm doing right now, was building Hermes Agents. And then I was doing more research, and then I found out there was a better way for what I was doing than Hermes Agents. But still, some things like just random kind of like personal assistant type stuff, it looks like there is some use case for Hermes Agent that would make more sense than building out a workflow or something like that. Yeah. About to make this video real quick. Give thanks every time. Give thanks every time. So, if YouTube has shown you one thing this week, it is Grokbot. It's all over my feed too. AI employees that live in the cloud, work while you sleep, Use your apps like a human would. And the cheapest advertised door in is $120 a month per seat. It costs all the way up to $300 if you want to go direct. Here's why that's interesting to me. I already run AI employees for my business. I've got 4 of them running so far. On the clock right now, and my researcher's last shift cost me about 33 cents. So in this video, I'm going to give you my honest read on Grokbot, what it actually is, what it costs, the one thing my custom system has that it doesn't, and the part nobody making these videos is saying, which is what building your own actually takes. Because I'm not a developer, I built mine anyway, and it was not easy. Both of these things are true, and by the end, you'll know which door is yours. Let's get into it. So, what is Grokbot? First, I gotta give credit, because I'm not here to take the easy layup. 2 days ago, XAI put Grokbot into beta, and the pitch is genuinely cool. You create agents like teammates. Each one gets its own computer in the cloud, its own logins, and here's the headline feature. It keeps working after you close your laptop. It's always on. So instead of just chatting with you, it works inside the tools. It reads an inbox, it updates a CRM, it edits a document. It drives a browser the way a human would. That simply means clicking around like with a mouse in your browser just like a human. So for somebody who has never set up anything technical in their life, this is a real product solving a real problem. That's the appeal, and I totally get it. So before I go any further, this is the most important sentence about everything on this screen. I have not used Grokbot yet, not one run. I have used Grok as a model in an agent that I have built that is custom. But everything I'm telling you comes from their docs and their launch coverage. I have watched some displays of people using Grokbot, so I've seen it in action, and I understand it very well. This is their claims, and it's my read on it. So you know how I do it. Menus and meals are different things, and today we're reading the menu. So now the price of the menu. There is no standalone Grokbot subscription. You get it bundled. It's either $300 a month through XAI's top plan, $200 a month through Cursor Ultra, or $120 per person per month on a team plan. So the cheapest advertised way in the door is $120 a month every month per seat. And for what they're offering, that might genuinely be fair. Cloud computers aren't free, frontier models aren't free, and I'm not trying to say it's overpriced. I'm just going to do something more useful. Put my actual payroll next to it and let you see the difference yourself. So here is my real payroll so far. And a quick recap for anybody who's new. I do run AI employees for my business today. 4 of them are on the clock right now. A research agent clocks in by itself every Sunday morning, studies how my videos performed, looks at what's working in my lane and my niche, and hands me content ideas for marketing with the reasoning attached. There's an outcome tracker that takes daily performance snapshots so the research knows what actually worked. A comment watcher checks my channel every 5 minutes and handles the comments I get on all my content. And every Monday morning, a report writer hands me a state of the business report with every number pulled fresh. So the big decisions draft, I approve it. Nothing important goes out without me. I run AI. AI doesn't run I. So I can show you one of my dashboards real quick. This is basically a workflow the agent team runs, and it's a Kanban style view right here. That's just a quick look. So the research agent that I built, that's the first agent in the workflow. Has worked 4 shifts. Every single one succeeded. The latest shift this past Sunday, about 21,000 tokens in, 9,000 out, costed about 31 cents. Its entire career of thinking so far is about $1.15 total. And here's the detail I love because it shows the journey moving. in my last payroll video. A shift was 22 cents. Now it's 33 cents. The shifts got more expensive because the agent is doing more thinking per shift, and the ideas got better with it. That is a raise, and the agent earned it. I have trained the agent well, so I decided to give it more work. It's working the way I want it to work, so I have no problem paying it that extra 10 cents every week. And the researcher is the only one with a thinking bill. The other 3 employees work scheduled jobs on the server, watching, syncing, and reporting. The server, the whole fleet, $5 a month, shared. That's the payroll, all of it. So, $5 a month, lives in the cloud, access it from anywhere, from my phone. Computer doesn't have to be on. That's all it cost me. But the time and the effort of building it, that's the real cost. And before anybody says it, that is not the same product as Grokbot. What I built is different, and that's the whole point of this video. Grokbot's price includes the cloud computers and the model. My price, my cost, does not include the part nobody puts in the thumbnail, which is what it cost me to build. And I'm going to get to that because that's the honest part of this video. But first, the difference that actually matters because it's not the price. So here's the thing I kept looking for in every Grokbot video and every page of their docs, because for my business, it's the whole ballgame. Do the agents share a brain? From what they've published, each bot learns its own role separately. They can pass files around, they can hand tasks to each other, but there's no shared memory that carries your brand, your numbers, and your history across the whole fleet. And that one decision choice is the difference between a stack of assistants and a system. So let me make this concrete. In my setup, every agent reads from and writes to one shared database. When my research agent finds out what worked, the outcome puller's grades are sitting right there in the same place. When a content gets made from an idea, the system links it, so the next week's research already knows how the last content from the last week performed. Every agent makes every other agent smarter. I said this months ago, and Grokbot launching only makes it truer. One bot is just a bot. A chair is still a chair. And a system where every agent feeds every other agent, that's the thing that compounds. The shared database is the moat, not any single agent. Because think about what your business actually is. It's not tasks, it's context. Your voice, your customers, your numbers, what worked, what flopped, and why. An agent without your context does generic work, and generic work is exactly what everybody else's agents are producing too. So there's a huge disconnect right now in agent content. So many videos about agent doing tasks, so few about agents sharing what they learn. I don't know if it's a misunderstanding or if it's just what gets clicks, but the gap between these two things is where real businesses win. So one more difference. This one's not as big, but it's real. I own mine. The database is mine. The drafts are mine. The history is mine. The dashboard is mine. If any one tool disappears tomorrow, if any one model breaks down tomorrow or gets banned or anything like that, my system's brain doesn't go with it. When you rent seats, the learning lives in the rental. When you own it, you own it. So what does it actually take to build your own system? So here's the part I was talking about earlier, and I want to be really straight with you because I've seen the other version of this video and I'm not making it. The other version says, why pay $300 a month when you can just build your own? That word is doing a lot of lying, saying it's just so easy. I'm not a developer, but I still built my own, and it's the most complex thing I've ever built. In some ways, it's also very simple, but there's so many nuances you don't find out about until you're actually in it. So the honest scale of the build, I've been building this system live on camera for months, session after session, and I stopped counting the hours a long time ago. Back in July, just the database and the dashboard had already taken over 20 hours, and that turned out to be the easy part. I thought I'd spin up some agents and they'd just do their own thing, so there was so much more that I had to learn, but I had no idea. But you know, it's all about the journey. And I enjoy learning difficult things and building difficult things, so this is right in my lane. And I haven't even gotten to security hardening on this system yet. That's still ahead of me on the list. When I build my next app, the security testing alone should take at least a month. It took more than that for my first app. So when I tell you what building your own takes, I'm telling you as someone still in the middle of it. Nothing about this is ever really finished. As I can see, even when I get this, this first fleet that's almost done, now I'm seeing more levels to it, more stacks of agents I can add. It's always going to be getting better. And I've stopped expecting it to be perfect. I know that it never will be, but it can always keep getting better. So why did I do it? Because nothing about my system is a one-time purchase. Every week it gets a little smarter and I get a lot smarter from it. That loop compounds. It's not something you can rent. And honestly, it's also fun to me. I like building this stuff, as I said, and I'm using it to solve my own problems, and hopefully I can solve problems for a lot more people too. So here's my actual honest take on who should use what. If you have zero interest in building, you just want tasks off your plate, and $120 a month is worth that to you, Grokbot might genuinely be the way. And there is no shame in that way. But if you're building a business, your context is the asset, and you want a system that compounds instead of a subscription that resets to generic every month. Custom is the doorway. It costs less to run than a streaming service. It costs real effort to build and to maintain. It's not just building it. And that effort is exactly why it's worth something. So now I want to give you my prediction of where AI agents and AI employees are going. And this is my opinion, it's not an analysis. So I think that every major lab, Anthropic, OpenAI, they're all going to ship a team of agents products within the next year. And the prices should go down when they start competing. I've seen similar things like it with a Hermes agent or a Claude bot. Definitely this Grokbot is taking it to another level, but it's still missing the main thing that I see as being the most important, as I said. So, also, I think that all these companies are not building these products for developers. They're building these just for operators. So, I believe that these companies are focusing towards operators and not developers. And when I first got into this game, when I first started learning AI coding and AI orchestration and vibe coding and all these different terms, I see how they're different. There's kind of different lanes. But basically, everything was really created for developers. Everything was in developer terminology, coder terminology. And I'm seeing this more and more. It's starting to really make everything more accessible to non-developers and non-coders. So also, always on gets exposed as the wrong metric. Basically what I mean is an agent working 24/7 without your context will just produce generic output faster. So the metric that matters is quality per dollar with your name on it. I don't need an employee that never sleeps. I need one that never forgets. That's the main thing to me. The amount of time it would take just to keep reminding and refreshing an agent, I mean, that's worth to me the cost of building this, the opportunity cost. So here's the one sentence to take with you. Grokbot going viral means the whole world just agreed that AI employees are real. And the real question was never rent or build. It's whether your system knows your business. And zoom out with me, because this is the part that fires me up. 2 years ago, AI employees were science fiction. Today, a company will rent you a team for $120 a month to start. And a guy who is not a developer runs his own fleet for cents plus $5 server. Either way, the door is open, and it has never been this open for regular people. There's room for everybody at this table. If you want to start building your own, grab my free starter kit. The link is in the description and also the pinned comment in the comments. So give thanks every time. See you in the next video. Respect. That was that. Music back. Here we go. So looking back at the chat, my background, entrepreneur. Favorite thing about business is marketing. Been an entrepreneur, building businesses for like 15 years. First business I did was like kind of like a Uber Eats before any of that stuff existed. And second one I did was started out as me writing books, evolved into me building a publishing company. I've tried out a lot more businesses too, but my favorite business, the one that I liked the best, was the publishing company, dealing with marketing and information, all nonfiction books. Most of my books were like business. Most of the books I read and have read are business books, nonfiction books. So that's how I got into that. And then Digital Nomad Media, respect, welcome through. How are you? And definitely good to see these digital nomads around. I have lived that life myself, and I always like to be a digital nomad in the mountains, and the internet's not always the best out there, but I still make it work. There's always a way. So I just got done reading my script for the newest video. Grokbot just came out, and it's very similar to what I'm building right now, but notice some key differences, and that's the main thing I'm covering in the video. Thank you for that. You're seeing the it's obvious that I'm reading, so I should put the teleprompter farther away. Thank you. I'm going to take a note about that right now. It is obvious I'm reading when I record a video, so try putting a teleprompter farther away or some similar system. Yes, that's everything. Work in progress, keep getting better. I remember like these videos, they used to take me like half hour to an hour. The more I do them, the better I get. But that's one thing I wasn't noticing. Because I am reading like, I'm kind of like a mix of reading and ad-libbing. And it's hard for me to notice that when I watch my own videos, but I bet you it's easy for other people to see. And now I got a new thing to fix. Alright, so let's see, where am I at right now? Go. I just got done recording the Grokbot video. I'm going to paste the file path here. Want you to do the silence cut and template. That is the card I'm on the workflow as well. Welcome to the chat. Kid Ratsu Gamer. Respect every time. It is going well. Hopefully you're doing well too. And abundance and success in whatever you do. So let me know. Are you working on any projects? Anything you want me to check out? And let you know what I think. Are you building any kind of AI employees or workflows? Or if you just want to chill and watch, that's always cool too. So, respect. Every time. Give thanks. And just gotta find the next task. It's not there. Here we go. Alright, so I got done recording the video. I'm going to give you the file path so you can do the editing and the silence cuts and anything else that needs to be done. What? So you're doing sort of good, just struggling to get clients. You have a project if I want to review it. So you can't put the link, but you can just tell me it if it's on Google. Then I can check it out and Google it, and then I'll check it out, let you know what I think. And you're struggling to get some clients. So if you want to talk about marketing, I understand marketing pretty well. What are you doing right now for marketing? And can go from there. That was weird. I just got done recording the Featuregate video. I'm going to give you the file path. I want you to do your editing and silence cut and anything else that needs to be done. Let me know when you're done and make the proper changes on the dashboard. Yeah, what is going on? My terminal is broken or something. What? And it worked. Weird. And sometimes technology breaks. So what should I do? Restart the VS Code, I guess? I've never seen this happen before. Yeah, what the... It's being very slow. I'm just going to restart this. It was weird. Then the music just stopped too. What is going on right now? Okay. It's like my technology can hear me. It's like, sorry. Start the music back up again. All I had to do was think about it. Alright, back in business. Here we go. So looking back at the chat, I do have Discord. I just haven't set up the group yet for it. I don't use it that much. I'm also on, you're on YouTube, so I'm also on X and LinkedIn. And that's right. And I set up Discord so it doesn't have links. So really the only way I can really look at links right now is just by Googling it. Kuratsu Studio. I'll Google that, see if I can't find it. Yes, my Discord. I started a Discord when I first started this challenge, but too many scammers got on the Discord, and I just decided it was better to just shut it down and start a new one. Not seeing Kuratsu Studio. See Clip Studio Assets. Oh, I see what you're saying. That's like the link. Like /Vercel. Yeah, just for security I can't click links and do the Google stuff. I need to find a better way to that would be actually like a really good some product way. I'm gonna look this up on Gemini real quick. Alright, so for security on my live streams, like I have it so people can't post links on like the chat for Twitch and YouTube. But there's definitely some projects I want to check out from people and they're not on Google and they can't give me the link. So I'm just wondering, is there any kind of like option that can like, you know, check links to make sure they're safe that I'm not aware of? So if like somebody gives me a link to type in and it's not on Google, help me understand. I am trying to find a way for you to show me your project. I'm thinking yeah, I just can't open them. Is this URL scan IO? So you're saying I could make a DC, it looks like, server, then make a section where people can paste the link. They won't be able to DM you. And you're a freelancer and you want to know how to get clients. It definitely depends on what you're trying to get clients for. And that makes it hard when I can't see your... Oh, DC, Discord in short. I see what you're saying. So I could do all that through Discord, is what you're saying, I guess. And I tried doing that before, and I just couldn't find a good way to do it. So, I guess, based on what you're telling me right now, I don't know much about your business, who your target market is, who you're trying to serve, what you're offering. And if I knew that, I could give you some advice for marketing on getting clients. And I'm also taking some notes down on way to get links. Research how to deal with links while I'm streaming. When people send a link that's not on Google, some way for me to verify it. Maybe even through Discord. Do I have any other way you can show me the portfolio? The main thing is it is on Google. If it's not on Google, right now I do not have another way that I can think of. If you know another way, otherwise I'd have to put it through one of these, like the URL scan IO. I could try that. Oh, okay. For Discord, I can create a dedicated project submissions channel, set the bot permissions so links posted in that channel auto-generate link previews, and I can glance at the preview card or copy the submitted URL straight into URL scan IO or Windows Sandbox to test it on stream. Sounds like a lot of steps, but it's possible. But why can't you get that on Google? Because, I mean, one thing I think I could tell you is that your clients are going to need to have a safe link. Well, I guess it depends on what you're selling, but yeah, it's hard to say more with what I know now. So I'm just gonna, like, this is a note I'm taking right now, so when I'm off stream, I can try to implement some of this stuff. And if you can't think of any other way right now, just feel free to come back in a couple days, maybe a week, and I should have a way. You could try that. I just don't have an actual Discord group right now. But let me see. What is your name on Discord? And I'll send you, I don't know, what do they even call it? Like a request. And then, give me your Discord name and I'll send you the request thing and then I'll figure it out. Like, you can just, like, paste the link wherever. Let me know where you put it and then I'll do, like, what I can do to see it. Awesome, I'm about to send it right now. Said didn't work. Double check the username. I copied it and pasted it, so. It says it doesn't work. It says double check that username is correct, so I'm not sure what's. And like I said, I don't use Discord that much, so I'm not sure why, but I'm gonna have to do some research on this one. Oh, you just spelled it wrong. All right. Still saying friend request failed. My name on Discord. I don't even know where to find that. I am going to have to do some research on this one. I want to keep on flowing and working. But sorry about that. I can't check that out for right now. But now I know notes to get everything working, so can avoid this problem in the future. Feature publish card. There we go. Success. The friend request was sent. There we go. I'm going to do the rest of the publishing stuff off stream. I'm on stream right now. I'm going to go to the, go back to the weekly workflow and go to the, daily reply sessions and feature signal. So when I open the review queue on that card, it's showing some new Reddit posts for me to reply to, which, you know, I thought we already worked on that because I can't get onto Reddit yet. And, take a note to revisit trying to get that account working again on Reddit once this weekly workflow is done. But for now, there were a few X posts on there for me to reply to, but the newest one was like 2 days old. So I guess that would make sense because it probably would have ran. That doesn't run every day. So that being said, do you think those posts, those 2 days old posts, are too old to still reply to? And then also can run the daily reply session manually for now, for today. That's it for now. Let me know. Respond to what I just said in this prompt. I have not checked the work yet. And after I check it, I can show it on the stream. For right now, I'm going to wait until after the stream is over to make sure I'm doing it correctly with running it through the checker. Whatever, I can't remember the name of it. But sorry for the delay on this. This is just something that I have been tried in the past and had problems with, so I just kind of like set it to the side, path of least resistance. But now I'm seeing like more, like I want to see what you're working on, so I want to find a solution to this problem because I know there's just going to be more and more awesome projects I'll have to miss out on if I don't get this fixed. I would have to tell you the improvements on a different day. It's just not part of my work right now that I have time to like do that all right now. I got things planned I was trying to do. But you're saying trust you, you're not a scammer. Well, unfortunately, I'm a person with trust problems, and I can tell you too, for marketing and business, sounds like you're new to business. Don't say that to people you're trying to do business with. If you're trying to pitch something, don't tell them just to trust you. They're going to see that as a red flag. So I'm guessing, like you don't know that. I'm just trying to help you. In the business world, trust is very hard to find from what I've seen. So that's just part of the game. Yeah, I mean, I'll always be here, man. This has been like almost 120 days now. I've been doing this, so I'm sticking with it. You can find me pretty easily on here. Just come back another day and we'll figure it out. All right, so now this should be. On and refresh it. What? So I'm looking at the reply review right now, and I refreshed it, and everything I'm seeing still says 2 days ago. I'm not seeing anything fresh that you just did. So I'm looking at the Stackivate reply review. On the daily reply sessions feature signal, and I clicked on open the review queue in that card. And also, you're talking about you're only doing for X. I thought the way we had it was the daily reply sessions and feature signal. When I run it daily, which is I think right now a manual task that I want to make a agent task later. But when I run it daily with you, you're still like it's still looking through Reddit, but it's just finding like feature signals. And you're talking about you just did a fresh scan for X candidates, and how did you do that? Did you use the SpaceX API and the Grok model? Or did you do it a different way? So basically help me understand this stuff, and then we can go from there. And it looks like I'm almost done with this workflow, and I want to check out the trading bot operating system. Okay, there is some problem because it is not showing up in the reply review. I just refreshed it again multiple times and I'm still not seeing it. Still, I've got all selected and it's just showing the newest one being a Reddit from 2 days ago. So, that being said, I also want you to do that scan for Reddit and see if you can get those X replies in the reply review. Super weird things happening all of a sudden. It's alright, that's when I learn. I want to get this trading bot. I want to check in on that project. All right, I want to check in on this project. First, make sure everything's running correctly the way it should be, and then let me know what you propose for a dashboard for this. What kind of like features you think should be on the dashboard, just so I can, like, you know, control and see everything that's happening with this operating system. Oh, I see what it is. All right. Yeah, make both permanent. There we go, just now. That makes... Okay. Yeah, that did not make sense. Thank you, Claude, for changing that. Now I have to make it make sense. Alright. Alright, so I did do the first reply and then it locked for an hour and 15 minutes like it's supposed to, so that's working good. I cleared out some of the old replies and everything's looking good on that. So I would have to say go ahead and commit and push any changes that are not committed and pushed yet. Whoa. All right. So switching gears, trading bot operating system. Want to check in on this, see how it's going. Oh, this is on a different. Let's see. Interesting. Well, I would have to say that's it for today. Hopefully you got a lot of value off of what I had to say and do. And, you know, always coming through with something new. Because I'm just learning as I go and staying in the flow. Doing what I know in the present moment. And it always seems like the right time. So, you know, give thanks every time. Health, strength, lengths of days, vibe coding, technology. Everything's flowing, everything's going in the right direction. You know, it's all here for us. It's all abundance. We've got a lot of big problems in the world to solve right now. And, you know, we got the tools to do it, and they keep getting better. So AI is going to get us to the next level. AI has already made my life way better. And my business way better. And this is just the beginning. I think it's gonna be a very interesting, like next 2 to 3 years are gonna be, the world's gonna change a ton. So, anyways, that's it for today. I'm out.